So hey there, everybody. I just wanted to do a quick video talking about the race weekend. What an awesome race weekend, man. Who would have thought that Ken could pull this off after the beginning of the year? I mean, I kind of did early on, thought that he would get a win and maybe even a couple podiums, but, we're getting halfway, and I think he just only had the one podium. So, yeah, what a great, exciting weekend. It was amazing. Ken Roczen pulling it off on that old kickstart. Suzuki 450 was amazing to me. But I don't know how the rest of you all are doing in fantasy. I only scored 15 points for this weekend with the Rocky Mountain. But it's the happiest 15 points that I think I've ever gotten. I really am excited for Ken to get that win. It's the completion of a lot of things for him, riding that bike that nobody thought could win, which, I'm going to pick on Cooksey Media here. He keeps picking on this bike, and even when he says good things about Ken, like, oh, he had a decent weekend or whatever, he back talks by, picking on the bike. So the bike is fine, guys. I did another video of it. I'm not going to go too far into it, but I do have some insight from people in Florida that in his camp that kind of know what's going on there. Let me tell you, he was changing a lot of stuff. And basically they had a come to Jesus meeting about going down the rabbit hole. Even himself. I mean, he was talking to Larry, the team manager, and his mechanic, and they were talking to suspension people. I think they actually got rid of one of the suspension guys. I know they had at one point Dave Cruz. I'm not even sure if he's still with them. But anyways, that's going down the rabbit hole. They tried so many things. They initially, early on, tried Kayaba, and now they're on this Showa. They've been on the Showas for basically the whole season, but they did try some Kayabas because they were looking for a certain feel. Ken was searching a certain feel. And other things too, setups. They've been messing around with the shock in the back too. But long story short, after trying so many different things, they ended up talking to Chisholm's suspension guy. And I believe they brought him in-house, actually. And last I heard, that was the setup that they've been happy with right before Daytona. They kind of found a setting that Kenny could ride on a regular, it was so good that all he needed to do was mess with his clickers a little bit, and he could ride consistently and then start getting just laps in instead of testing where you're doing 10 laps, you come back in, you change something. They were changing components, they were changing axles, they were changing steering. Once was a steering stem. They went from regular to titanium. Once was regular axle. They went from normal to titanium. They were changing the bolts and the triple clamps. They were changing triple clamp offsets. So I mean, all the time they're chasing something. So finally they got a setup that they like. They're where to where they can just maneuver the clickers themselves, and he seems to be comfortable, and he's getting more time just riding, so that you can know what the bike does, and you're not constantly changing something that makes it different every time you go out. Now there's a consistency, and he can just ride and train. So I think that's why you saw a better result. A lot of things kind of went his way here at Indy. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but Tomac getting such a crappy start, and it being such a track where with the ruts he wasn't going to put himself, Tomac that is, I feel like he wasn't going to put himself in a dangerous situation. So I think that Tomac was riding for points, if you will, riding safely with giving himself whatever the track would give him without putting himself in danger of going down. So you had that. You had Barsha step up. What an amazing ride from Barsha. I hate him. I mean, let's put that out there, guys. Everybody knows that, if it was me, I'd put a bounty on his head and have somebody take him out the way he's taken other people out. But having said that, the ride itself, you know, he did an incredible ride there at Indy. So that was amazing to watch. And Cooper Webb, I'm not a big fan of Cooper either. You think I would be, being from North Carolina, but yeah, I don't know. I've always felt like he gets gifted. And not to take away from his riding either. You know, you got to be in a position to take advantage of these things. But yeah, I've never felt like he was like super fast. But he's shown me something in the last couple of races, I will say that. I mean, he's had some decent speed. He's been up there. So, I don't know. I just want to jump on this bandwagon with, you know, everybody saying hi and congratulating Ken Roczen for an amazing win and putting that Suzuki back on there and getting people talking about Suzuki again. I'm still so stoked about that Suzuki's back in it. Hopefully, you know, the big wigs over there will look at this and see what it does and get back into, you know, kind of doing some more work to those Suzukis. You know, everybody knows it needs we definitely need that button, that electric start button. But other than that, man, at their level, it's not a disadvantage. I don't care what anybody says. The worst thing you can say is the bike is heavy, but having a heavy bike helps you with cornering. So, you know, really, his bike is on par with anybody else's. And, you know, getting a win, that's on Ken, man. Ken put that bad boy up there. So, that's it, guys. Y'all have a good one, and I'll catch you soon. Out.